There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination.
Objection!
Yay! What the heck? Ah, what the heck? Oh, man. Pray forgive my careless handling of that hallowed bottle I slipped. Yeah, right, man. That's what you call it? Oh, man. Alright, Trevor's, enough's enough. You will tell the truth. Welcome back, everyone. It's late here. Oh, boy. Well, last time we, heard from Drebber, we heard from Madame Tuspos about the professor witnessing event with this guy, and he lied and lied, and he's still lying, claiming he didn't see what he claimed to have saw 10 years ago because he's colluding with Miss Dr. Sithe over there, and, you know, all the fun stuff. And now, we're trying to get him to spill the beans, so let's continue. Very well. Oh yeah, and Zeke's been helping us. Surprise, surprise. Because he apparently wants to hear the truth, so... Alright, there's no gunshot from behind me at all. Nor any... Thank you. Thank you for that, sir. Oh, I've been waiting for this. Because I presented this, like, what was it, 2 or 3 times last time, and I got a nope from it every single time. Now, please, will this work?
Objection!
Thank you! Mr. Drebber, do you remember this camera? But that is the camera from that fateful night. Yes, we borrowed it from the House of Horrors. It's the camera you took with you to this cemetery that night, Mr. Drebber. Ha ha ha. And is that supposed to be significant? This kind of camera is rarely seen in our homeland, so my colleague and I were keen to examine it closely. We noticed that the lens extends forwards on the end of some bellows. Like this.
Hold it!
Hold on. That's the first time we've heard us hold it, haven't we? That's great. I didn't even know he had to hold it. What's that? There, just on the bellows. It looks like a dark red stain. Ah, you would be right, sir. It is. It's blood. That's right. It's a rather conspicuous mark here on the bellows, in fact. Good lord, are you suggesting... Yes, my lord. It would appear to be a spatter of blood. Something that could be confirmed with a simple chemical test. Isn't that right, Dr. Sithe? Ahaha. It would be difficult to determine if it was human blood and not the blood of some animal. But yes, to test whether or not it is blood at all is simple enough. I propose that Madame Tuspel's testimony was correct, and that on the night in question 10 years ago, you were spattered with blood from the gunshot wound. Well, and that furthermore, you really did witness the condemned professor emerging from his tomb. Yay! Gag! There's simply no way you could have forgotten such a traumatic experience. In other words, the only explanation is that you're trying to hide the fact that you saw the professor that night.
Objection!
Yay. Why are you objecting? Go away. But why? Why would he want to do that? Well, not for his own gain, it would seem. For whose, then? Who could benefit? Mr. Drebber is obviously lying in order to protect somebody. My goodness, he's shielding someone. Yep. Yes, my lord, and clearly... it's someone who doesn't want the truth about the professor coming back to life to be exposed. Well, counsel, who is it then? Who is this witness trying to protect by lying about what he saw that night? Obviously Dr. Sithe. Who else?
Take that!
The obvious answer is Dr. Sithe. Sithe? Whatever do you mean? Imagine if the convict who had been sentenced to death was not in fact killed. Imagine if that was to come to light. What are you insinuating? And imagine if the convict in question was the country's most hated mass murderer. If it was the professor. That would be an unprecedented scandal.
Objection!
This is beyond a joke. Need I point out that the dead cannot come back to life? What you're suggesting would mean that the execution never actually happened. Yep. Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Objection!
Dude, once a man is sent to the gallows, he hangs. No one could escape, not in Great Britain.
Objection!
He's saying that like they can escape anywhere else, dude. But the fact is, there was a witness to the fact that the man did escape his hanging. If that were really true, counsel, the implications of misconduct would not stop at the supervising coroner. It would taint the honor of the entire judiciary from the ground up. And it's exactly because of those monumental repercussions that Dr. Sithe would consent to any demand made of her by someone who threatened to expose the secret, even if that meant being complicit in a crime. You mean... I mean that Dr. Sithe wasn't collaborating in Mr. Drebber's wicked scheme. She was coerced into collaborating in order to protect her decade-old secret. She switched the dead body of Mr. Assman with the waxwork model and fabricated the autopsy report. Ah. Dang. I really did not need to see that again. Lord Von Zeeks. Pray forgive my freshly filled hallowed chalice, and a whole raft of other discordancies now. It's been sorry, it hasn't been a while. It's the first time that he's ever combined his discordancies. Goodness me. It's just the sort of tall tale Londoners would enjoy, I grant you. An executed killer rising from the dead, Scotland Yard cover-up, a conspiracy at the highest levels. So let me ask you one thing. What's that? If the condemned man really did emerge from his tomb that night, only to be shot in the chest, who pulled the trigger? And disposed of him forever? Well, I have no idea at the moment. We have too little information to work that out at present, I think. I couldn't agree more. The Old Bailey is no place for wild fantasies. Ugh, it's not a wild fantasy, we just need to prove it. And have you considered this, my learned Nepalese friend? Considered what? Do you realize just what a dangerous endeavor it would be to coerce this woman into such... Oops. Oops, I was reading it as though Dr. Sithe was speaking. Oops. It's still Van Zeeks. Do you realize just what a dangerous endeavor it would be to coerce this woman into such criminal activity? It's tantamount to declaring war on the entire British public force and judiciary. Quite hard to imagine any sum of money being offered for research could warrant it. To rely on some stage deception when so much is at stake would be madness. Well, I suppose. And this was no petty crime either. The victim was murdered. A man who had already been invested money in the venture and would be instrumental in future profits too. Yes, I had no reason to kill Mr. Assman at all. Or are you forgetting that his death results in me receiving not a single penny? The court is already aware of the contract between myself and the victim, no? Did we read that fully? Hold on. I'm just gonna double check. Find labor, materials, construction, yeah. 30% of all remunerations. Oh, that's right. Condition that both contracting parties are alive. Okay. There is the contract, that's very true. The motive for this case runs deep, though. Feel it. Using threats to force the head of the forensic investigation team to cooperate is extreme. Especially for a government grant he had no guarantee of receiving in the first place. If the research grant was the aim, taking Mr. Assman's life would have made no sense anyway. Which means Mr. Drebber's motive wasn't money at all. He was just trying to kill Mr. Assman. But why? What was his motive then? Your time is up, my learned friend. I'd say you have one last chance before the jury lose their patience with this charade. Let's see if you can back up your heady proposal, shall we? Thanks, Mr. Litterer. I was waiting for that. How do you explain why this engineer would throw all caution to the wind and threaten his own country? You know... Oh, wait. I was gonna say... epic aim that he missed Cosmo, but Cosmo had to lead out of the way. Look at that. Oh, man. At this point, I'm not prepared to listen to more of this outlandish conjecture without proof. So, counsel, present your evidence. Alright. Who exactly was Mr. Asmund to Drebber? There's a connection there that no one's seen yet, and I'm going to have to present 2 pieces of evidence to show what it is. 2? Yes, my lord. The evidence that establishes a motive and explains why the witness wanted the victim dead is right here. Let me save. Hold on. I mean, first off, it's gotta do with this, right? Wait, was Mr. Asmund the one who pulled the trigger? Oh my gosh. And what if he's... And because he ruined his reputation, that's why he wants him dead. He wanted him dead, right? Could that be it? I don't know. It has to do with this, though, for sure. Oh yes, thank you. Oh boy. It's this newspaper article, my lord. That was written 10 years ago. And every detail has been examined already. What can it possibly tell us? That drivel should never have been written. It's typical gutter press nonsense that means nothing. Yes, on its own it isn't particularly significant, however, when considered alongside another piece of evidence, it will completely explain your motive for wanting Mr. Asmund dead. What other evidence? Counsel, you will present your supplementary evidence without delay. The evidence, which when cross-referenced with the newspaper article, establishes a motive for the deed. I really don't know what else to present. And was it monetary gains? So this doesn't matter? I mean, I really have no idea what else to present.
Take that!
Oh well. Guessing works, yay! It's his contract, my lord. Mr. Drebber, this is the contract you signed with Mr. Asmund. Yes, that's right. The very document, in fact. That proves I had no reason to kill the man. No, I'm afraid not. What? There's something very significant that this newspaper article and the contract have in common. Really? And it's that common link that shows very clearly why you were determined to kill Mr. Asmund. Seems the defense has uncovered something the rest of us have missed. So, my learned friend, point out what these 2 pieces of evidence have in common. Where exactly is the link between this newspaper article and the contract? Really? I don't know. That they're both not really dead? Is that it? Maybe, possibly, Oh, I am so stupid. I am so freaking stupid. It's right here. How did I not see that till now?
Take that!
What these 2 pieces of evidence have in common is a signature. A signature? The signature on the illustration that accompanies the 10-year-old article and the signature on this contract belong to the same person. What? Ugh. As the court has heard, this illustration was drawn 10 years ago by the newspaper reporter who found Mr. Drebber and interviewed him about his ordeal. If you look closely, the reporter's signature can be seen in the bottom right corner of the drawing. See, if I had seen that earlier, it would have made it so much easier to connect the dots. Dang, I must be blind, even though I wear glasses. And if you look at the contract here, which was signed between the witness and the victim last year, you can clearly see Mr. Aspen's signature at the bottom. Let me see now. Good lord, yes, they're identical. In short, the journalist who drew the illustration and wrote the article published about Mr. Drebber 10 years ago was the victim of this case, Mr. Audi Aspen. Does not compute. System shut down.
Objection.
But explain to the court why. Why would that constitute a motive for the witness to murder Aspen? Well, if you think back, you'll remember that Mr. Drebber talked about that article in his testimony. The grave robbing, you say? Yes. Exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative. That is quite beyond the pale. You would invite divine retribution, sir? Alright, yes. Yeah, we saw this already. Nah. Okay, great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. Okay. And people with back. Oh! I knew it. It's because his reputation was ruined. I was on the right track. That's it. At the time, you were a student of the University of London who dreamt of becoming a scientist. However, this single newspaper article changed your entire life. I knew it. So Mr. Aspen used to be a newspaper journalist, did he? He did, my lord. In fact, it's a widely held belief that Aspen managed to position himself at the heart of his criminal network, thanks to the many dubious connections he made during his time as a reporter. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So you had to give up on your dream and leave university. You lost everything. Eventually, you found yourself working in the field of science, but only in the shadows. And all because of that article, written by Mr. Aspen. Enough! Oh dang. Stop this endless dribble about my life. What? Explain yourself, Mr. Drebber. Yes, it's true I had to leave the university as a result of that article. But it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. What do you mean? Almost every student of science in the faculty was too poor to actually conduct any research. But they struggled on with their hypotheses anyway. We all did, only to have them taken by vultures. Sooner or later, you knew your ideas would be stolen and patented by some wretch or other after all. Good gracious! Making a name for yourself as a scientist in a climate like that was a miracle only a select few geniuses could ever hope to achieve. Personally, I wasn't one of those geniuses, so it was hardly a wrench. Being forced out of the university because of Lowgate was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Objection.
Mr. Drebber, do you genuinely believe that? Of course I do. Who's better placed to know whether or not I possess a talent for science than me? I'm sorry to say that your words don't ring true at all. How dare you? And I have evidence to prove it. How are you in a position to say anything about me? I don't know you from Adam. Fine, if you think you have evidence, go ahead. Show it. What could you possibly have to disprove the idea that I was happy to leave university because I lacked talent? Your trophy. Sorry, Miinosuke's back massage. Oh man.
Take that.
Do you remember this, Mr. Drebber? We found it at your workshop. Ooh. Is that a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science? What exactly is this trophy, Council? It's the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a young scientist, my lord. There is no higher accolade. It recognizes emerging talent and promises a bright future. Good gracious! Your prospects for the future were excellent, weren't they, Mr. Drebber? Because even then, you were a genius in your field. Haha. But you lost everything. You had no more future. Your talents would go to waste. All as a result of this one newspaper article. Dang. Actually, though, that freaking sucks. I just imagine to have everything taken from you just from one lousy gossip article. Dang, man. I don't know when you realized who Mr. Asman was, but when it dawned on you that he was the same journalist who 10 years ago ruined your life, it's abundantly clear that you had no intention of forgiving the man. Dang. Oh, the truth is... Finally, he's going to fold. I don't think so. Uh-huh. I knew it. It's gonna be Dr. Sithe, isn't it? Everybody is so determined to hide the truth. Fine. Clearly this has run its course now. What? I admit it. All of it. What? No, seriously, what? What are you doing? It's exactly as the Japanese man said. I was coerced into going along with this man's plot to murder the victim, on the condition that he kept my dirty secret from 10 years ago. No. Good lord! Right, it's that easy? That can't be... Dr. Sithe, do you realize what you're saying, woman? It's all true. That day, when I arrived at the Crystal Tower and saw the birdcage, my heart nearly stopped beating. That memory from a decade ago that I had done my best to bury deep inside myself. It was the professor again, staring me in the face. And then, before I had a chance to react, I noticed something else. There was a note tucked inside the model's jacket. Dr. Sithe, you will go along with my plan. From someone who knows the truth about what really happened that night, 10 years ago. Dang. All the instructions were there in the note. Every detail was meticulously written out. I had no choice but to do what it said. I made the necessary alterations to the scene and fabricated the autopsy report as instructed. There was really no other choice. It had to be done to protect the judiciary. I can only apologize now. What? Why did she admit it? This has been so suspicious. Why on earth would you buckle now? Well, there's no point trying to hide it anymore, is there? I would have done anything to stop it coming out, even collaborate in a murder. The great lie about that execution 10 years ago has been exposed. Whatever happens, I'm finished. Dang. So then, Mr. Drebber, what do you say to that? Your accomplice has admitted everything. Surely it goes without saying. You admit your part in it too, then? I admit nothing. At all. Oh, come on, dude. So stubborn. Why? What? Have you forgotten that the kinesis machine was ripped to shreds by an explosion? Short of me admitting to a crime, there's really no possible way for you to prove I did anything wrong. No! Dang it! Order! 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 Whatever this man says, I admit everything. He threatened to expose my secret, so I went along with his plan. And Lord Von Zeeks. Yes? I hope you'll accept my apologies. What happens next is in your hands, of course. Oh, dang. I have heard more than enough now. I hereby present the final findings of this court. Oh, dang. This trial is not the proper forum in which to pursue the alleged wrongdoings of Mr. Drebber. The defendant is Professor Albert Harebrain. Oh, dang. Very true. It had slipped my mind. Isn't he one of your closest friends? As the court has heard, Dr. Sithe has admitted to the allegations brought by the defense, thereby absolving the defendant of any possible guilt. You mean... At the present time, it is the conclusion of this court that the defendant was not involved in any wrongdoing. Does the prosecution have any objection? I don't think so. Is he still friends with the guy? Even if he has a weird way of showing it? None, my lord. Thank you. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo. You have proven Professor Harebrain's innocence. Yay. Without further ado then, to education. This seems kinda abrupt? Or is it just me? I don't know. Oh man. Unless the prosecution or defense have any other matters to discuss. Okay. Everybody's silent. I don't know. This doesn't feel quite right. Why did Dr. Sithe suddenly admit to it like that? Exactly. Is everything alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Like you said before, the way the trial is set to end now, the judge will certainly deliver a verdict of not guilty. Is that really what we want? What the defense should be pushing for now is... He doesn't feel right about it. Then we should push for further testimony, right? It's giving me the choice. You know what? I've always been the believer that one should always trust their gut, so yes, further testimony.
Objection!
The defense objects to the trial ending at this time, my lord. I beg your pardon. We demand one final testimony. Yay! What? You do realize I'm about to educate in favor of your client, I presume? What are you playing at now, my Nipponese friend? Why would you want to obstruct the conclusion of the trial at this point? No defense lawyer in his right mind would do that. Because we want the real truth. Mr. Naruhodo, what exactly are you thinking? Truth. The whole truth. And a way to bring it all out into the open. Right. Yes, in hindsight. Yes, one word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. I knew it. Oh yeah. I temporarily forgot he told us that, but yeah. To the bitter end, you understand? Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. Thanks, Sholmes. I'm sure Mr. Sholmes knew. He must have deduced that this would happen. And that's why he's a great detective, despite his childish ways and craziness. Yes, I'm here in court to advocate for my client and to secure an acquittal. Obviously. But that's not all. I believe that I have a duty to the court to pursue the whole truth of the case until every last detail is laid bare. Yay! And that is why the defense calls for further testimony from Dr. Sithe. Testimony from me? About what? about the nature of your collaboration with Mr. Enoch Drebber. Ha! In case it's escaped your attention, I've already admitted to everything I did. The whole truth has already been revealed. So stop wasting everyone's time. Ugh. As his lordship made very plain, your client will get the acquittal you wanted for him. There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination.
Objection!
Yay! What the heck? Ah, what the heck? Oh, man. Pray forgive my careless handling of that hallowed bottle I slipped. Yeah, right, man. That's what you call it? Oh, man. What is your objection, Lord Van Zieks? Prosecution also calls for supplementary testimony from the witness. Don't be stupid. If there is more to this case than has yet to come to light, then I will join my learned friend in pursuing the facts until the bitter end. Yay! Yo, what? Lord Von Zieks. This is most irregular, to say the least. However, as the prosecution also calls for it, I will uphold the request. Dr. Sithe, you will testify for the court, explaining the full extent of your involvement in the murder apparently committed by Mr. Drebber. Aye, very well. Oh boy. Here we go. It all began at the scene when I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately. The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret of the highest level. I had to protect it. Okay, I think I'll press the statement where she was a little vague on how she rearranged the scene. So I was right, the stage and the machine were all specially designed for the deception. So it seems, and all meticulously prepared, you did well to see through it. You're very shrewd, boy. So kind of you to say. And what about this autopsy report then? All I did was record the location of the body as being in the Crystal Tower instead of under the stage. That's all? That's a terrible corruption. Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it, I assure you. We must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. Imagine if she told Gregson. Gregson would have been like having a cow trying to keep it quiet. There's no particular need for cross-examination, I would say. No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Just look at that expression on Dr. Sithe's face. It's the defense's right to cross-examine any witness following testimony. Tisk, what is it about you Japanese that makes you all so doggedly persistent? I don't think it's just Japanese people. I think people in general can be persistent. Very well, if you so desire, counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Proceed we shall. Yes, my lord. Okay. Alrighty. I don't think I need to press everything. Because she said this already. And we figured this out ourselves. This is the part that's got me a little curious. Just being a little vague about it.
Hold it!
When you say arranged, I presume you mean with this? Yes, the instructions in the engineer's notes said something along the lines of fabricate some evidence to make it clear that Hairbrain alone could have killed Asman. So, you mean that was your doing? I fetched Hairbrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage and took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen. Alone, Doctor? I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception. Oh boy, this is creepy. There is a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt. I approached it, leaned down, and slowly opened it up. This is so creepy. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest. Wait, what if he was still alive at this point? And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death. Exactly. So, the actual cause of death was the trauma resulting from the 30-foot drop. My word. What is it, Mrs. Otto? Something about Dr. Sithe's last statement is playing on my mind, that's all. Yes, mine too. Dr. Sithe! There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well. The defense calls for you to add what you just said to your formal testimony. Oh? Which part? What I want her to supplement her testimony with is... let me just double check something. Pierced heart. Inflicted by shot. Pierced the heart. Didn't fall from considerable height. Sprayed some candle. The real cause of death, what she did to the victim. Broken vertebrae. Did she mention a broken vertebrae? She didn't, right? She said, what did she say exactly? She said, trauma. The real cause of death. She said trauma, but he has a broken vertebrae. The real cause of death being the fall of 30 feet, that part. Fine, if that's what you want. Just stop yelling, please. Prosecution concurs. Oh, man. Very well, you supplement your testimony now, witness. If you wish, my lord. Actual cause of death was the neck trauma. Is it the neck trauma I want? Neck trauma. Hemorrhage of a wound to the chest. Wait, I think... Damn it. Dang it. I messed up. Hold on. I think I have to do the other one. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna have her do the other one. Okay. Let's have her change it. Dr. Sithe, what you said before about what you did to the victim's body, I believe that may be significant, so could you change your supplementary statement to explain that instead? Very well. I stood over the victim's corpse where it lay in the top of a cage and plunged the screwdriver into the chest. I'm confused over, do I present the autopsy report or do I present the cage? I'm a bit... hold on. Okay. Plunged it into the chest, she said. Plunged it into the chest. Is that really the chest? That doesn't seem like the chest. I don't know, something about this seems odd. Let me go with this.
Objection.
Yes! Okay. I've got a nasty feeling that this inconsistency points to extremely uncomfortable truth. Yay! What on earth is the matter, Counsel? Have you lost your tongue? I love it. It's the new pursuit music, finally! I apologize, my lord. Dr. Sithe, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point. Oh, this is so good! That seems to defy explanation. Out with it, my learned friend. There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph, which shows the victim in the birdcage following the events that led to his death.
Objection!
The court has already examined that photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Objection!
Yes, we have already considered it, that's true. But we now know the facts to be different. What do you mean? I believe we should let the defense explain. Where in this photograph would we see the alleged inconsistency with the witness's statement? Is it the chest area? Hold on. Okay. And then... Alright, let's go with this.
Take that!
Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downwards direction towards the man's feet. And why is that significant, Counsel? If the victim was stabbed moments before the kinesis machine was set in motion, that's entirely expected. Oh, yeah, because he was stabbed after, according to her. Ah, of course, no, that's not what happened. Exactly, my lord. Dr. Sithe made it very clear in her testimony just now that the point at which she stole Professor Harebrain's screwdriver and stabbed the victim was after the grand deception was set in motion, when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear that the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And if the victim had really been stabbed while it's inside the birdcage in that position, blood from the wound would have spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture is inconceivable. Ah! Given that the victim's blood seeped vertically downwards from the wound. Hey, I was jamming. Why'd you cut me off? Why'd you cut it off? It must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Asmund, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Sithe, your latest testimony was a total fabrication. Yay, it came back. I love this. Oh, this is awesome! I knew it, I was right. Now I've identified that contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. We've all been under a great misapprehension here. What? What sort of misapprehension? Is it reversed? Is she controlling him? Dr. Sithe, you claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drebber as a result of the note he left in the waxwork. You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authored a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of those claims is an out-and-out lie, because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer. If that is the case, what is it, man? Oh man, Counsel, you've clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what it is. Which part of Dr. Sithe's story is shown to be a lie by the contradiction in her testimony? Stabbing of the victim to autopsy report. Okay. Alright, brain. My brain believes it's this. Because... I did say it before, right? What if he wasn't actually dead? Please be right. The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If, when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards as it did, we can be sure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time. But as you rightly pointed out, the birdcage would have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the stage. Yes, it would, which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
Objection!
That's impossible. The man was dead, remember? No, that is the misapprehension. Nice, got it. I knew it. I guessed it. I was like, what if he wasn't dead? When the birdcage fell from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force. Oh my gosh. But Mr. Asman didn't die in the fall. Oh my gosh. This is still so creepy though. It's like a freaking zombie movie. He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came around, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Dr. Sithe appeared. Oh my gosh. If the victim was in fact alive at that point in time, it changes everything. I love that the Pursuitist theme is still playing. It's replayed. This is the third time. It's awesome. Oh, they cut it off. Boo. Mr. Odiasman's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Albert Harebrain. Nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Enoch Drebber. It was you, Dr. Courtney Sithe. Yes! Grrr. Ag. What a twist! Order! Can this possibly be true? Have you been taking me for a fool? It was you, was it? You killed him? Oh, did he think this whole time it was an accident or that his death? Oh my gosh, was he led to believe he died from his experiment the whole time? Oh my gosh. You hoped that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Drebber's scheme, the trial would end, before you were accused of a far worse crime. Cold-blooded murder. Dang. Oh, do shut up. You're so desperate now, you're making all this up, as if I would do something like that. Yay! I assure you, the defense is not desperate, Doctor. Mr. Naruhodo has established the facts using evidence and logic alone. Huh. Logic? Don't make me laugh. Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it. What? What do you mean? Tisk, I'd have thought it was obvious. A motive, boy. You're lacking a motive. What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Asman? Asman was involved in any number of criminal activities, from coercion to theft to murder. But there is no known connection to Dr. Sithe there. Oh shoot, what's their connection? I'm rather relieved to say it does seem somewhat far-fetched. True, there's no obvious motive, but there's still something in the back of my mind. I feel sure I've seen something somewhere that hints at why the coroner might have done this. Yes, I might have tampered with the crime scene and concocted a fake report, but murdering someone for no reason is a very different story.
Objection!
No, when you question what possible reason you could have for wanting to kill Mr. Asman, something did come to mind. What? What was it, Counsel? Enlighten the court at once. Yes, we saw it yesterday, didn't we? Something that seems strange, but we had no reason to suspect it at the time. There is a particular object that explains why Dr. Sithe would have wanted to kill Mr. Asman. Scapels! The 500 of them that she had. The scalpels. It's a scalpel. Or rather, scalpels. Did you say scalpels? Ah. It would appear that word has struck a chord. What? It would appear that word has struck a chord, Doctor. You... Come on, out with it. It was yesterday when we visited your laboratory. Look at this big thick book here. Ah, it appears to be an accounting ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigation team's spending, I think. Oh? What is it? It's clear that the team purchases various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... well, one entry seems rather strange. Really? In what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. Why the heck do you need that money? Oh boy. 500 scalpels? A month? At first, I wondered what on earth you could be using that many scalpels for. But actually, I realize now it's not the scalpels themselves that are significant. It's the money for them, disappearing every month from the department's accounts. Asmon's criminal organization relied heavily on extortion for its funding. Tracing the money from the forensic investigation team's account to find out where it was going would be extremely straightforward. Ugh. Ugh. 10 years ago, when Mr. Asman was still a journalist and wrote this article about Mr. Drebber, he may well have stumbled upon information as he was researching the story. Information relating to Dr. Sithe's darkest secret that he would use to rack money from her for the next decade. Dang! For a decade? A whole decade? Her darkest secret? Good lord, you mean... I don't know what happened on the night of that execution 10 years ago, but clearly the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up. Dang. So in the end, you weren't coerced at all, were you? You did it entirely of your own free will. You stabbed Mr. Aspen in the heart with all your might to silence the blackmailer who knew your dark secret forever. Dang. You'll never understand, none of you. What we've had to keep covered up all these long years. Oh, jeez. The silence is deafening. As very little of the machine remains after it was ripped apart by the bomb. The truth of this case can never be properly established unless you speak out. And if you decide not to, it's very possible that Courtney Sithe will escape punishment for her crimes. Please, sir, own up to what you've done, and tell the court the truth about what happened. Come on, Drebber. 10 years ago you told the truth, and you were robbed of a bright and successful future as a result. I can certainly understand your bitterness, and your consternation now. However, this is surely the chance you've been waiting for, to sever the hold that fate's had over you for all these years. Come on, Trevor. Speak, speak, speak. Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis. I mean, really. It's the adult brain mock scientists that are the worst, you know? They don't recognize the fact that they don't have talent. They can't even get that right. And so they end up chasing impossible dreams, having unbridled faith in their abilities. They go on and on about their wonderful hypotheses, their stupid eyes shining like a little child's. Dang, they make me sick. I can't abide their foolishness. Careful, Mr. Drebble. Drebber. Oops. I was particularly pleased with the kinesis machine. It made for quite a show, didn't it? Dang. So you admit it? You admit that it was nothing more than a sham made for the purpose of killing the victim? Yes, I admit it. I did it all, in the name of revenge. Dang. Revenge for the future that Mr. Asman's article had deprived you of 10 years earlier. But the revenge you sought didn't stop at Asman, did it? Which is where that very particular waxwork comes in. Yes, I see. The condemned convict that you saw rising from the grave in Lowgate Cemetery 10 years ago. If your account of those events was all true, then obviously Scotland Yard couldn't afford to acknowledge what had happened, even if it meant discrediting a bright young man and crushing any further career he might have had. So your plan required that you abduct that particular waxwork model in order to exact your revenge on Scotland Yard as well. Or on Dr. Sithe, to be precise. It was a year ago. By some extraordinary twist of fate, Aspen turned up at my workshop. He didn't remember who I was, of course. He just wanted to employ my services as an engineer. And he happened to have a paper with him. An article on the front page caught my eye, about the coroner who'd handled that bogus autopsy being appointed head of a new forensic team. When I learned that news, my cognitive processes started to devise the plan. What a horrid tale. He robbed me of my future, so I wanted to use the man's own wiles against him, for revenge, and have that rotten Scotland Yard eating out of my hand at the same time. I wanted them all to suffer the same humiliation I'd had to suffer. They... Your actions against those who'd ruined your future were justified as revenge, at least to yourself. Certainly, no one has the right to destroy another's prospects, especially for purely selfish gain. And yet, in carrying out your plan, you did exactly that to someone else, didn't you? Did I? Professor Harebrain's only crime was passion for his hypothesis, but you had no compunction about sacrificing his future to effect your revenge. You knew that he would be forever branded a failure and a fraud. Yikes. Yep. Perhaps life treated you unfairly 10 years ago, and others' misconduct left your life in tatters. But remember this. Your own actions resulted in exactly the same thing for another perfectly innocent young man. Yeah, tell him. I... Dang. Lord Van Zeeks, what of Dr. Sithe? An immediate warrant for her arrest has been granted, and she's been remanded in custody, my lord. I presume she will face trial in the coming days, along with I keep saying Dr. Drebber, Mr. Drebber. A most regrettable situation indeed. She's made great contributions to her profession over the years. It really is a hard truth to swallow. However, that is a topic for some further occasion. For now, Professor Harebrain... yes? It seems there is a great deal more to your experiment than you realized. However, I think we can assume now that all the sordid details have been brought to light. This has been a very long and profound trial, but I'm pleased to say you are absolved of all guilt. Yay! This whole experience has taught me a very great but painful lesson. Me, this dedicated scientist, this devotee of natural philosophy, I've been selfish and self-centered, and above all, a fool. Professor. Dang. I spent my life thinking of nothing but my research, misguidedly believing that I could do whatever I set my mind to, despite my lack of talent. And the worst of it is, in the process I've caused others pain and misery. Others who are far, far greater people than I. Aww. No, Professor, that's not true. Aww. What? Don't tar yourself with the same brush as Drebber. What happened was his doing, and his alone. This outcome is his fate, not yours. You're not to blame in any way. Aw, yay, friendship. Lord Von Zeeks. And the derision with which he referred to you earlier, calling you a fool, talentless even. No. The man has no idea. No. To believe in yourself and work your fingers to the bone to realize your dreams. That's laudable, not laughable. No one has the right to deride another for such choices. It's so sweet. Oh. Thank you, Barack. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. It is this court's expectation that you find the defendant not guilty of the charge of which he stands accused. I presume there are no objections? None from me, my lord. Certainly not. This trial has really made me think, but this is the right decision. It's all been proven methodically and rigorously. I have no misgivings whatsoever. What's that? He's done, is he? It's all over? I don't know what's become of the yard these days. I don't recognize the place. No. Very well. In that case, I hereby pronounce the defendant. Yay! We did it again! Fireworks? Yay! Fireworks! Court is adjourned. Alrighty. I think we're gonna have to wrap this up next time. Oh man, it's been quite the journey. But we finally made it. Oh man. Dr. Sithe's involvement came out of like nowhere, and then oh man. I did think it was weird that Drebber was like guilty alone and that he wanted him dead. Like he killed him. Like it was weird to me. Anyways, guys. Alright, guess we'll have to wrap things over and move on to case 4 next time. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys are having an amazing day and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.